Were the Niners smart to essentially trade DJ Jones for Charvarius Ward? It wasn't an actual trade, but they got about the same amount of money, and the Niners earmarked it to a corner instead of a nose tackle. What do you think?
I'm going to say yes, but probably say yes for different reasons than where your thoughts are. But
because I say yes as well. I think it's actually a really good move from the Niners. Go ahead.
I think because of Kosaric, the Niners have shown their ability to reproduce and find linemen and been able to get production out of that position.
Yeah.
Interior position is it's a position where you've been able to get this you can find it late in the draft. So if you're gonna do this with any position and not pay a position, I think you do it with interior line, and I think you do it with a guy where you have Kosaric who's proven he's been able to take guys and turn them out.
Absolutely. Also, I just feel like, just again, major trends in the NFL. Coverage is more important than run defense in 2022. It just is. I know when you're facing the Niners, you have to be able to stop the run, but if you can't cover, your defense isn't going to be good enough. And for the Niners to finally acknowledge that, because they have a very old school way of building their team. They're still committed to offensive line, defensive, the trenches and the quarterback spot. For them to finally acknowledge that, like, maybe we should sign a corner instead of a defensive tackle, that's a big step for the 49ers. That's really good. I want to give them a round of applause.
I thought, Grant, I honestly was kind of surprised when we kept seeing all these reports that the 49ers are interested in corners. 49ers are interested in corners. I was kind of like,
they're going to sign a defensive tackle. What are you talking about?
Because you had Ambry Ward started to play fairly well in the playoffs. They're like, nah, they're good. Yeah. That's exactly where I thought they were going to go. They're like, oh, we're good with Ambry Thomas. Like, all right, we got Lenore coming up, and we'll resign Verrett. We got Verrett on the cheap because he's injured, so you come right back. And so, I was surprised. I'm not surprised they let DJ Jones walk, because I thought that he was going to get the kind of deal that he got, and they've been able to plug and play defensive linemen. So with Kosaric, so why not use that? Use that as your disposal.
I think it's so encouraging, because it seems like the Niners are sort of getting with the times. Because honestly, like, if wide receivers are becoming the most valuable position outside of quarterback, then coverage has to go up to someone. I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship. Then coverage becomes more important as well, and run defense becomes less important. So the Niners, this makes me feel like they might draft a corner in round 2 for the first time in 20 years. I mean, it could happen. They need a nickel. They need a nickelback. They could draft a nickelback in round 2. They could draft a safety for the first time in round 2 since Jaquaski Tart. I mean, wow, that's amazing. What a development. Again, nice. I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. How'd they figure this out?
Maybe they watch your show.
Maybe we're giving them too much credit yet. They could draft a defensive tackle in round 2. And we could all right, there you go. I'll take it all back. SF needs to choose which wide receiver compliments Trey the most. Probably the most explosive wide receiver usually compliments the wide receiver the most. I'm just saying. You don't want to, but the thing about Ayuk is he might be explosive. It's just that I don't think Jimmy was going to show it.
No.
Also, Ayuk had 16 catches of more than 20 yards last year with Jimmy as his quarterback, so he might have some potential there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential.
Professor Lawless, member, thank you. Sugar Shane says Deebo trade value is the highest it'll be. Take advantage, get picks. Deebo's body will break down. Won't be the same player. Jimmy deal. Thoughts?
You can sign you can sign Deebo now, and if you need to trade him, you can trade him later. Like you're seeing this happen around the league. Like teams are signing player eating. It's mostly
they got to eat the cap, but you got to do it.
But you need everything the 49ers do right now, and even though this is where they're kind of where they're blowing it should be all about Trey Lance. And signing Deebo is about Trey Lance because he needs weapons. And I like the wide receiver in this class, but I don't want to give Trey Lance a rookie wide receiver. I want him to have his guys. I know that he's not working out with Deebo, but he had camp with him last year. He knows him. So and Deebo's a proven commodity. So
yeah. Also, I want like Deebo's explosive. Ayuk's explosive. Kittle might be explosive still, used to be explosive. They've been held back by the least explosive quarterback in the NFL. Like, he won't run. He won't throw down the field. He won't even look 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. It's Jimmy Garbaggio. Like, let's just see what Deebo can do with an explosive quarterback. I mean, we've seen from Trey Lance. No, he's not the most accurate quarterback, but he definitely is going to push the ball more than 20 yards down the field a few times a game, more than 40 yards down the field, at least once a game. Let's see what Deebo can do, because you know what happened to Cooper Kupp? He went from being a very good wide receiver to being the best wide receiver, and maybe he was the best all along. It was just Jared freaking Goff who's holding him back, kind of like number 10 out here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's third and long, and you're literally handing it off to your best wide receiver, your best like what? Just hand it off. Just hand it off to him. Like
it's because Deebo. It's because Jimmy's the best at handing off in the league. That they're just trying to play to Jimmy's strengths. Right? Yeah. It's about Jimmy, really. Matthew says trade Jimmy, Deebo, Kittle to Giants for their 2 picks plus Barkley, Ingram, top draft CB, then trade back with the second, get Watson and capital. Wow. Jimmy, Deebo, Kittle. Wow, all of them. Trade the whole team. That's a lot. That's a lot. Matthew was very interesting. It was very creative.